Real weddings from Mallorca. Susanne and Mauro, a pastel spring that turned into a starry night. There are weddings that live in your memory as a series of lovely snapshots, and there are weddings that read like a full story, with a beginning, a crescendo, and a finale that makes you reluctant to turn the lights off. Susanne and Mauro's day belongs to the second kind. They both arrived in Mallorca just for a season, working in 2 neighbouring hotels. A few smiles over morning coffee and one after-work walk later, the island became their shared address. 7 years on, they said yes, in the very place that had turned into their home. We had the honour of planning, styling, and quietly directing that story. 2 paths, 1 decision. She is from the Netherlands, he is from Colombia. The proposal? Entirely Mauro's style, during a family holiday in Medellin, loud, joyful and tearful in the best way. Choosing where to marry was obvious though. Mallorca. It's where their everyday rituals took shape, where plans grew, where they both became us. They wanted the island to witness their vows, and we wanted their Mallorca to speak through every detail. A spring palette. Pastel as a language of emotion. The aesthetic was as gentle as the first warm days of spring. Pastel pinks and peaches, soft ivory, and a touch of sage. Round tables were dressed with rattan placemats, generous glassware and linen napkins. At the centre, airy arrangements of roses, freesias, carnations, and baby's breath. No heavy decor, just light and space. In the finca's courtyard, where old trees have seen many celebrations, the pastel tones didn't feel sugary. They felt like an extension of the island's light and greenery. Getting ready, and the bride's entrance. Susanne chose a sculptural gown, sleek with a subtle corset bodice and off-the-shoulder sleeves. It didn't shout, it whispered elegance. Her bouquet paired blush and cream roses with sprigs of baby's breath and eucalyptus. On her father's arm, in a soft grey suit, she walked a white aisle laid over grass, with the sound of olive leaves in the breeze. Mauro, in a deep navy suit and patterned waistcoat, watched her the way you only watch once in a lifetime. The poolside arch and the sand ceremony. The ceremony took place by the pool. The water mirrored pastel flowers and white drapes gathered on a wooden arch beside an old tree. Between the vows we wove in a sand ceremony. 2 colours, light and a rich Mediterranean blue, poured together into a slender glass vessel, blending into an irreversible pattern. The Netherlands and Colombia, 2 cultures, 2 families, now one home. It wasn't a performance. It was a quiet gesture that perfectly told their story. Guests, from grandparents to the youngest cousins, followed the moment in heartfelt silence. In the photos, you can see a friend in a red dress wiping away tears, bridesmaids in sage green squeezing their bouquets, parents glowing with pride. A few minutes later, Mauro lowered his head to brush away tears. Susanne lifted her hand to hold hers back. In the hush, you could hear only leaves and the faint sound of water, cocktails, portraits, and Mauro's crew. After the signing came a light cocktail hour, bite-sized spoons of flavour that guests later described as dangerously good. It was the perfect time for portraits in golden hour. Susanne and Mauro stood beneath the arch, she with a knowing half smile. He relaxed now that the big words had been said. Nearby, under the olive tree, Mauro's groomsmen lined up. Classic navies and olive greens with a splash of teal, sunglasses on, southern swagger intact. Those frames looked like an album cover. Friendship energy that powered the entire evening. Tables waiting for toasts. As the sun dipped behind the garden, the finca's patio turned into an island of pastel light. Candles flickered among the glassware. Wooden holders carried elegant table numbers, and bottles of wine rested in coolers. On every plate, a crusty roll and a neatly folded napkin. Details like these are punctuation marks in a text. They don't dominate the message, but they give it rhythm. The dinner entrance, an explosion of joy. Before the first course, the newlyweds made their entrance between the tables to cheers and a sea of waving napkins. Coloured smoke flares swirled in the air, a quick, spectacular boom that sent laughter rippling across the patio. It was the shift we wanted, from emotion to fiesta. And, oh, did it work. Dinner under string lights and the speeches. The next set of images shows tables brimming with conversation and wine. Giant light-up initials glowed in the background as strings of bulbs traced the night sky. At one point, Susanne's father took the microphone, steady voice, kind humour, and that unmistakable sparkle only parents get on this day. His words sparked a wave of toasts. Mauro's friends kept springing up to clink glasses, belt out a chorus, hug the groom, sit, then spring up again. Susanne, in the middle of it all, wore the calm, luminous smile of someone thinking, "This is our night." Music from two continents. On the dance floor, two worlds met. Dutch hits from Susanne's childhood melted into Latin tracks that Mauro and his friends simply can't stand still to. Guests from several countries sang the same choruses, sometimes each in their own language, always together. That is the magic of destination weddings. Culture doesn't divide. It adds layers of joy. First dance in the clouds. Later we moved to the covered courtyard. The stage lights dimmed and the floor filled with white mist. Behind, the DJ glowed big love letters as Susanne and Mauro began their first dance. Not a competitive routine, just a close, confident waltz by two people who know each other's tempo. Phones circled, someone held their breath, grandparents shuffled closer. A few minutes that remain like a beautiful dream. Gentle light, quiet music, and just the two of them at the center. Fiesta. Heart-shaped glasses, glow sticks, and a night that didn't want to end. When the first dance faded, the floor burst into color. We handed out glow sticks and heart-shaped sunglasses, a tiny prop that instantly transformed the crowd into a sparkling orchestra. The photos show uncensored happiness, raised hands, laughter, shouts, and that unmistakable Latin wave of energy carried by Mauro's friends. With her hair down, Susanne bounced from group to group. Mauro, in his paisley waistcoat, conducted the refrains. This was the moment when the pastel spring made room for the neon of the night. The view from above, a plan that worked. Drone shots read like a map of the whole day. From above, you see the celebration's 3 acts: the ceremony by the pool, cocktails at the neighbouring patio, and dinner on the large courtyard. Neat rows of white chairs on the lawn, the shaded cocktail space, and the circle of dinner tables. Everything linked by easy walkways so guests moved naturally and freely. Those images show how thoughtful logistics become invisible. People simply feel that everything is in the right place. In one photo, the entire party, dozens of smiling faces, waves at the camera. Front row, Susanne and Mauro holding hands, beside them grandparents in white chairs. It could hang on a wall like a poster, the essence of togetherness. Sounds, flavors, gestures. The air was a blend of laughter, chanted wishes and familiar melodies. Platters appeared on tables just when they should, and the service, swift and discreet, made sure no one had to look for anything. Someone fixed a ribbon on a chair, someone else straightened a boutonniere. A server handed over water at the exact minute it was needed. That kind of attentiveness creates comfort you hardly notice, but you absolutely feel. The small symbols that mean a lot. A traditional Dutch gift from Susanne's parents, the sand ceremony, songs that pull both Dutch and Colombian guests onto the floor. These things were not random extras. They were the language in which the couple told the world who they are. That's why the whole day felt coherent. Every element had a purpose. Every colour told a part of the story. Working together and the couple's recommendation. When we asked for a few words afterwards, they said, everything was organised perfectly and the day flowed so smoothly. We felt completely comfortable and cared for. It was the best day of our lives. It couldn't have been better. And when we asked what they would tell other couples planning a destination wedding on the island, they didn't hesitate. Choose Dybiec wedding, period. Why this story inspires? Because it proves that a destination wedding isn't just a pretty backdrop. It's a chance to gather families and continents into one shared rhythm, to invite guests into an experience of light, flavors, and music that says more about you than long speeches ever could. Susanne and Mauro show that the courage to do things your way, paired with thoughtful planning, creates a wedding that dazzles with its natural ease. Epilogue. 2 quiet minutes in the middle of the dance floor. Late at night, after the laughter, after the couple had been tossed joyfully into the air, after hundreds of photos, I caught them by the bar. They took each other's hands and stepped back out onto the courtyard. The music kept playing, but they stood for a moment in the glow of the lights. A whisper, a hug, a tiny dance, just for us. Those 2 quiet minutes, tucked beside all the shouts of happiness, are our definition of a perfect wedding. Permission and gratitude. We publish this story and these photographs with the couple's kind permission. Thank you, Susanne and Mauro. It was our privilege to be the scenography and the discreet direction to a day that felt exactly right. May that glass vessel of coloured sand stand on your shelf like a little lighthouse. 2 shades, 1 inseparable pattern. And may Mallorca always be your home, and the place friends from across the world return to. Practical tips for future couples, from Susanne and Mauro's experience. Trust the light. We'll design your timeline around golden hour. It gives the most beautiful portraits. Choose your symbol, a ritual, like a sand ceremony, or a tiny gesture that feels unmistakably you. Blend cultures with intention. A few songs from home, a family token, a flavour from childhood. Their meaning is bigger than their size. Hand over the logistics. That's how you're fully present for the vows, for the first toast, for dance number. 1 and dance number, 100. Celebrate wildly. From the tender ceremony to heart-shaped glasses at 2 a.m., let it all be part of your story. Susanne, Mauro, thank you. Your pastel spring in Mallorca blossomed long into the night, and we have a feeling it will keep blooming for a very, very long time.
Welcome to Mallorca. A wonderful place to say I do. Meet your professional wedding planner. Your expert guide to a flawless celebration. From the initial concept to the most minor details, we meticulously handle every aspect of your wedding. This is the most important day in your life. We are here to make it truly special. Don't just take our word for it. Hear from couples who've created their memories with us. Your perfect wedding is a sum of many single steps. Ready to start planning them all? Call us today. Let's bring your dream wedding to life.